Famous people who passed away in 1761. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Princess Elizabeth Albertine of Saxe-Hildburghausen. She was born in August 1713 and she died in June 1761. Her age was 47 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. She was Duchess of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. She served as regent for her son after the death of her husband and brother-in-law of respectively the ducal appanage of Mero and the Duchy of Mecklenburg-Strelitz, known for her cultural patronage and as the mother of Queen Charlotte of the United Kingdom. Samuel Richardson. He was born in August 1689 and he died in July 1761. His age was 71 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was apoplexy. He was an English writer and painter, known for 3 epistolary novels: Pamela, or Virtue Rewarded, Clarissa, or The History of a Young Lady, and The History of Sir Charles Grandison. He printed almost 500 works, including journals and magazines, working periodically with the London bookseller Andrew Miller, a foundational figure in the development of English novel, especially epistolary fiction. Bernard Forest de Bilidor. He was born in 1698 and he died in September 1761. His age was 63 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French engineer significant to the development of the science of hydraulics and ballistics, known for his influential works on hydraulic engineering and military fortifications. For a while, he worked on measuring the arc of the earth. In the years to come, he published several works of great importance on a wide range of subjects, including hydraulics, mathematics, and civil and military engineering. His most famous book is L'architecture hydraulique. Here, integral calculus is used for the first time in solving technical problems. Louis George, Margrave of Baden-Baden. He was born in June 1702 and he died in October 1761. His age was 59 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a Margrave of Baden-Baden from 1707 until his death in 1761, and from 1707 to 1727 his mother of Saxe-Lauenburg was the regent of Baden-Baden. He was succeeded by his younger brother Augustus George. Because of his passion for hunting, he was nicknamed the Hunter Louis. His rule was marked by efforts to restore his territory after wartime devastations. Carl Gotthelf Gerlach. He was born in December 1704 and he died in July 1761. His age was 56 at the time of his death, and he died after a long illness. He was a German organist, composer, and violinist, known for his contributions to German church music and for collaborating with J.S. Bach in 1729. As Gerlach became more significant in musical circles, he received disproportionately more funding than Bach from the Leipzig City Council. They preferred the progressive approach of the new church to the traditional approach of the two main churches. Johann Matthias Gesner. He was born in April 1691 and he died in August 1761. His age was 70 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a German classical scholar and schoolmaster. His contributions to Latin philology and classical education were widely respected in Europe. At the University of Göttingen, he became professor of poetry and subsequently librarian, continuing to publish works on classical language and literature, as well composing Latin poetry and publicizing the university. Having probably become familiar with a similar organization in Leipzig. In 1738, he founded Deutsche Gesellschaft, devoted to the advancement of German literature. Gioacchino Conti, he was born in February 1714 and he died in October 1761. His age was 47 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an Italian soprano opera singer, a celebrated singer known for his powerful voice and operatic roles. He made his debut in Rome at an early age, around 1730. According to some modern encyclopedic sources, it took place in Leonardo Vinci's Artisos, which premiered on 4th February at the Teatro del Dei, and his theatrical debut ought probably to be dated instead in 1731. He sang many premieres for the best and most famous musicians of his time. Charles Holmes, he was born in September 1711 and he died in November 1761. His age was 50 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a Royal Navy officer during the 7 Years' War and was Wolfe's third in command during the capture of Quebec in 1759. He is also known for leading a British squadron up the River Ems in 1758, leading directly to capture of Emden. In 1747, Holmes was given command of HMS Lennox, one of the biggest warships in the Navy, but peace was signed the following year, and he would serve for the next few years in British waters. His leadership during naval campaigns held secure British victories at the sea. John Dolland, he was born in June 1706 and he died in November 1761. His age was 55 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was apoplexy. He was an English optician known for his successful optics business and patenting and commercialization of achromatic doublets. He revolutionized optics with the invention of the achromatic lens, improving telescopes and microscopes. Early in 1757, he succeeded in producing achromatic refraction by the aid of glass and water lenses. And a few months later, he made a successful attempt to get the same result by a combination of glasses of different qualities. John Wills, he was born in November 1685 and he died in December 1761. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an English lawyer and politician who sat in the House of Commons from 1724 to 1737. He was the longest-serving Chief Justice of the Court of Common Pleas since the 15th century, serving 24 years, known for his legal judgments and reformist perspectives in English law. Sir John was described by Horace Walpole as a man of open character, sharp intelligence, and strong passions, which could not be concealed. He was notorious for gambling and womanizing, and was said to have several illegitimate children. Alistair Ruard MacDonald, he was born in January 1725, and he died in December 1761. His age was 36 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was the 13th chief of Clan MacDonald of Glencree, brought up as a Catholic and largely educated in France. He was arrested in November 1745 on his way to join the 1745 Jacobite Rising. After his release from the Tower of London in 1747, he became highly damaging mole for the Hanoverian government inside the Jacobite movement. His leadership helped maintain the influence of Clan MacDonald during a period of political upheaval. Hildegonde Jean Pouilly, she was born in 1685 and she died in 1761. Her age was 76 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. She was a politically influential banker in the Austrian Netherlands She married the merchant maritime insurer and financier Pietro Proli and took over Poli Bank when he died in 1733. She held most of the loans of the imperial government in Vienna in the Low Countries and was famous for her business skills. She left it to her son, Charles, but the power of the government loans in the Austrian Netherlands moved from Paroli Bank to the Natine Bank. Jacob Fortling, he was born in December 1711 and he died in July 1761. His age was 49 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a German-Danish sculptor, architect, and industrialist, described as one of the most industrious people in the Denmark of his day. He came to Denmark at the age of 18 and embarked on a successful career, first as a sculptor and later also as an architect. He was also engaged in the production of building materials, owning several quarries. In Norway, just outside Copenhagen, he founded a large industrial facility combining a lime plant and a brickyard. Princess Dorothea of Schleswig-Holstein-Sonderburg-Beck. She was born in November 1685 and she died in December 1761. Her age was 76 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was fever. She was a German princess of the House of Oldenburg and by marriage Margravine of Brandenburg-Bayreuth in December 1716. Dorothea was convicted of crimes against marital fidelity and imprisoned firstly and then exiled to Aldendorf near Bamberg, and finally interned at the Lauenstein fortress in Altenburg. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.